Hi, folks, and welcome to another episode of Careers and Coffee. Today, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Georgia from Balfour Beatty to talk to us a little bit more about her work as an apprentice and also working on a fantastic new project in Lowestoft. So let's welcome Georgia. Hi, Georgia, how are you? Oh, on mute. I've not said that before on here.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. It's fantastic to have you along today to talk to us a little bit more about all of the brilliant work you've been getting up to. So let's kick off. Who are you and what do you do?
I'm Georgia. I am a construction management apprentice for Balfour Beatty over at the Lowestoft Flood Risk Management Project.
I mean, that's quite a mouthful. I mean, tell us how you got into the role, and tell us a little bit more about the project you're currently involved in.
So I got into the role from sixth form. I had some work experience over at the RAF Mara and Balfour Beatty project. Loved it, and I was very fortunate to get an interview and get my apprenticeship role. This is my second apprenticeship with the company, so it's very exciting. Um, and my role within the flood risk management project, I do a little bit of on-site setting out, some of the engineering tasks, and then I also do a lot of quality assurance. Back in the office, some site management style roles as well.
Fantastic. And what really sparked your interest in engineering?
I've always been interested in architecture, engineering, aeronautical engineering as well.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and after meeting some engineers and then having this work experience, a practical experience on site, I just fell in love with it.
Brilliant. And you've got this Lowestoft flood risk management project currently going on. Tell us a little bit more about that and what that's like to be involved in.
So our flood risk management project is split across Lowestoft. So we have the PLR scheme, which is changing flood risk properties, front doors, and other elements of the house, just to help protect the homeowner. The project that I'm on is the Velda Close scheme. So that's installing a sheet pile wall, plastic pile wall alongside the Kirkley stream, as well as constructing a pump station to help with the flow of water. We then have the tidal wall scheme, which is on the Lowestoft seafront. That's installing a piled wall to protect the homes and businesses at the front. And then future works, we have the tidal barrier, which will go in by the bridge, just as an additional support to Lowestoft.
That sounds fantastic. And just tell me a little bit more about what a typical day would look like.
So a typical day for me starts on site. We have our SIC meeting, which is where ourselves and our subcontractors come together to discuss what's going on site during the day, as well as any health and safety risks, any concerns that we need to action, and any deliveries that will be coming to site for that day. It's a bit of a planning exercise, so we'll run through that and then we'll go and have a look on site, see what's happening. If we have a concrete pour, we're very hands-on, very busy, doing some checks on the concrete, producing concrete cubes, which will then get taken to a lab to be checked for strength. We might do a bit of setting out, depending on what's required for the day, setting out any future structures and work that we're going to be doing. I'll then probably come back to the office after lunch. I'll then have a look at the specification, writing inspection and test plans for future works. So we understand what materials are coming to site, checking that they comply with our specification and what's been designed, and make sure that when we start construction, we know what is required and we can try and achieve the highest quality first time round.
Blimey, that sounds like a fairly busy day.
It is a very busy day.
And we've just got a question in. So you said this was your second apprenticeship with them. Does this mean you already completed one with the company?
Yes, it does. So I joined Balfour Beatty just over 4 years ago. I started on a level 3 apprenticeship in construction in the built environment, civil engineering, over at City College Norwich. That was a 3-year course. I completed that, and then the company is now putting me through a degree apprenticeship. So I'm now studying a degree in civil engineering at the University of Suffolk.
Well, that's a fantastic progression route. That's brilliant. And what drew you to an apprenticeship to begin with?
Sorry, can you just repeat that?
So what drew you to an apprenticeship to begin with?
So I think apprenticeships are brilliant. You get to learn and get the academic knowledge with the college, the university. So you get your degree, but you also get the on-site experience that you wouldn't get if you'd done a full-time university route.
Yeah.
You also get paid as well full-time. So as you're learning, you're getting paid, so you can earn money to buy your car, buy a house, all that sort of stuff without getting in debt from university fees.
That sounds fantastic. Is there many apprentices at Balfour Beatty currently as well?
There's absolutely loads of apprentices, graduates, and trainees at Balfour Beatty. Balfour Beatty are part of the 5% Club, which means 5% of the workforce we aim to have as apprentices, graduates, or trainees. So there's lots of opportunities out there.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And what's it been like over the last 12 months in terms of COVID for you folks? I can see you're obviously in the office. So have you been in the office for the whole duration? Or has everybody been working from home? What's that been like?
So some members of the company have had a little bit of furlough. However, we're all back now. Everyone on our project is back, working as hard as ever. With a couple of people are working from home that don't necessarily have to be in that office environment. However, they're still coming in to have site visits every week. People like myself and some of my colleagues doing on-site engineering. We're in here daily, so we're a mixture of on-site and in the office.
That's fantastic. Thank you. And did you always know that you wanted to go into this line of work, or was it something that you saw and you thought, I definitely want to go and do that? And Ben, I hope technology will work for us now, and then we'll come back to that question in Georgia. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Oh, result, awesome. Georgia, I'll just finish that question with you, and then Ben, we can do an introduction. So Georgia, did you always know that you wanted to go into this line of work?
I actually wanted to join the RAF in aeronautical engineering. Unfortunately, I can't pass the medical. So that got me thinking, and it was actually on a leadership course with the RAF under the Arkwright Scholarship Scheme, where I met an engineer from Balfour Beatty and got this work experience. So it all kind of stemmed from there, really.
God, that's a fantastic result. Now let's head over to Ben. So Ben, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, so I'm Ben Ayling. I am apprentice civil engineer with Balfour Beatty. Quite flexible at the moment, so I'm training as a civil engineer. I'm just getting ready to start my degree at university, but I've also been dipping in and out of kind of site management, and at the moment I'm currently dealing with stats, which is to do with services and service providers. So getting a real broad experience of the whole construction industry while training as a civil engineer.
Thank you for that. And similarly to Georgia, did you always know that you wanted to do this? And also, what was your pathway into getting onto this career as well?
I wouldn't have said civil engineering was something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be involved in some kind of engineering, kind of mechanics, or something in that kind of field. I actually was a chef for most of my late teens, and I thought that was going to be my career. Unfortunately, I ended up out of that due to medical reasons, and got an opportunity through the Apprentices Trust to get into construction, and I did a 4-week course with them. Found myself working along with Balfour Beatty for 2 weeks, and I'd like to say the rest is history, really. I really enjoyed it. I wanted to get involved. I left the Apprentices Trust course with Balfour Beatty, understanding that I wanted to join them. And it was about 3 months later, I started back on site with them.
That's excellent. Thank you. And just listening to sort of both of you talk about, what an average day is like, and, sort of what you're studying, what you've been getting up to. What do you feel are some of the key skills that you're using day to day, and that sort of the advice you'd give to a young person? Say, right, these are some of the core skills and qualities that you need to excel in this sector. What's your advice there? Who wants to take it? I'll go to Georgia first.
Okay. I think communication. Communication is one of the biggest skills. We work as quite a large team. We have people that we need to contact over the phone, over email, designers, statutory bodies. So there's a lot of people we need to keep in regular contact with. Planning is another one. We have a program for construction. However, we also have to plan 2 weeks ahead. We have lots of deliveries coming in, materials. We have to make sure we know what labour is coming in and what we're going to be doing around the site to make sure we make the most and achieve the program. So I think that they're good skills that people can develop. The same with maths and English.
That's excellent. Thank you. And Ben, what about yourself?
I've got to mirror George's communication. I think communication's key. You've got so many people you've got to talk to. You've got to be approachable, and you've got to be able to open up a conversation with people about any situation. But also confidence as well within the role. Being confident enough to go and speak to people that you've never spoken to before about things that you wouldn't normally just approach someone and discuss about. Yeah, I think that it's really communication is one of the main things.
Brilliant. Thank you both.
Also timekeeping and just being aware of where you need to be and what's going on as a project as a whole. You know, you're not typically sat in an office with a set kind of focused workstation. You've got to be aware of everything going on around you.
That sounds like it must keep it quite varied though, as well as part of the job. You know, so I suppose no day is ever the same for you both.
No, everything is very different. Yeah, everything's very different for us. Sometimes we're in the office, sometimes we're out on site, and we're constantly having different elements of work going on. So there's always something new.
Excellent. Thank you. And we've just got a question coming. So what do you enjoy most at work? And let's go to Ben for that one.
Oh, I must admit, I enjoy the flexibility. I love being able to, you know, in the office and out on site, and you know, I'm not tied to any specific position. Whereas a lot of careers, you're either, you know, out on a shop floor, or you're out on your feet all day, or you're sat behind a desk all day. And being able to meet interesting and different people as well, it's an incredible industry.
Brilliant, thank you. And Georgia, what about yourself? What do you enjoy most?
I think I enjoy the difference in activities going on site. So within my time with Balfour Beatty, I've spent my first 2 projects in the build side of the company, and this is my first project in the civil side of the company. So I've gone from a RAF station, so building the facilities for the F-35 Lightning jets, to an office refurb in central London, to now to flood walls. Everything's different. You're not doing the same thing over and over again every day.
No, that's good. I think it keeps it varied and interesting, doesn't it? Okay, we just got another question. Is that, have you faced any challenges on your career journey? And if so, how did overcoming them help with your professional development? Good question. Let's go to Georgia for that one.
Oh, that's a hard one. That is a very good question. Yeah, I think we always face challenges. We're always overcoming challenges every day. So we either have problems where materials arrived and it's not what we wanted, or we've had a subcontractor come in or a bit of plant coming in that we've planned to have for months, but it's been delayed on a previous project, and you're constantly having to overcome those. So it's a lot of then liaising with people, planning, problem solving, and yeah, that's definitely helped my professional development, definitely.
Brilliant. And Ben, what about yourself?
Yeah, there's definitely been challenges, much as Georgia covered, to be fair. You never know what's coming day to day. So you could have deliveries turn up and be wrong materials. You could even have the delivery turn up too late, too early. Where are you now going to store this stuff? So you've got to be able to think on your feet. And I think that's probably one of the best developments that it's helped, is being able to be faced with a situation out of nowhere and be able to come up with a solution in a timely fashion that allows things to keep moving without too much disruption to the project.
Brilliant. Thank you both. Another question. So what would be your advice for someone looking to find a degree apprenticeship? Ben, go to you on that.
Let's say degree I'm only just getting into. I've just finished my B test, so it's a bit ahead of me, I must admit. But I personally have got quite a bit of investment in the Apprentices Trust. I think they're absolutely brilliant what they did. They put me through all my basic training to get me my job with Balfour Beatty effectively. So if you want to get into construction, you need what's called a CSCS card. So they helped me get through getting my initial card. And then that was it really. Once I got in, I would join the 5% club within Balfour Beatty. I think for people looking on a broader spectrum is the 5% club. If you're interested in apprenticeships, trainee positions, anything like that, the 5% club is something to look out for in any company.
Fantastic. And Georgia, what about yourself?
So if you're initially looking into apprenticeships, obviously apprenticeships cover every industry, not just construction. Have a bit of a research on different companies that provide apprenticeships in the industry in the field you're looking at, and look at their vacancies. So there's a lot of places there that they'll advertise them on their websites. Also the government website, they have a page just for apprenticeships as well. So just do a bit of Googling. You'll find quite a lot. From there, if you do a bit of research into the company, follow the application process, it'll be quite self-explanatory. For the apprenticeship route, they'll normally try and explain it quite clearly before you apply, so you understand what the requirements are for that apprenticeship.
Brilliant. And before I come on to the excellent question below, did you have any misconceptions around apprenticeships beforehand that you sort of addressed those sort of rumours and you thought, oh, it will be like this? And did you have any of that before starting that now you think, oh, that was absolute rubbish? And I'm going to go to Ben on that one because I can see a nodding head.
Yeah, I think my one was I look back to the very old-fashioned typical apprenticeships. So I thought getting into it, the start, I'm going to be kind of running around doing all the odd jobs, getting bits and pieces ordered, supplying people with paper. But no, that was completely different. Once I actually got in, there's a little bit of that while you get your ropes and get to terms with what you're doing. But as soon as you start getting involved, it's you are properly put into your role and you can really get to grasp with what you're doing. So compared to what the typical misconception of apprentices being the kind of runner of the office in that has really changed.
No, that's good. Thank you. And George, I'm going to ask the next question to you. So what would your 15-year-old self make of your job role and career so far?
Again, another really good question. I don't think I would have expected to be in my career role. I didn't really know what I wanted to do at 15. I enjoyed the RAF Air Cadets, so I was looking at RAF roles. I was interested in architecture, but knowing now that I'm on site, I kind of have some management leadership responsibilities. I'm learning new things every day, learning how to set out, learning how to use different systems and operating. I could never have expected it.
Excellent. And Ben, what about yourself?
I think I would have been a bit surprised, but I think I would have been pleasantly surprised. To say I've always been interested in kind of engineering, how things work, mechanics, and I think if I was told at 15 that I would be here, I would have been pleasantly surprised, but maybe kind of not exactly where I am now. If you catch me.
No, that's excellent. Thank you. And as we're coming up to sort of the end, just a very quick one for you both. So, any young person who's watching and who will watch this, who wants to go into similar career pathway, what's your advice to them? Go to Georgia first for that.
I just think try roll, put as much effort in as you can. You only get this opportunity once. Obviously, we've been very fortunate to get on an apprenticeship program. you then get funded through it all. You then have career development. So with like a degree apprenticeship, it's sometimes sponsored by an institution. So as part of mine, I'll also get my Eng Tech with the ICE, and I'll be working towards that at the same time. It's very, very hard for the 5 years that you're doing it, but it's well worth it. Put as much effort in as you can. You'll definitely get the most from it.
Good advice. And to finish, Ben?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of mirroring what Georgia said there. I think the best phrase that I've heard concerning it all is you get in what you put out. You get out what you put in. The more effort you put in at the apprentice stage, the more you learn, the harder you push yourself, the more you're going to get out of it, and the better you're going to find yourself at the end of it. So yeah, it's a hard few years. It's definitely hard work, trying to work full time and study as well on top of that, but it's well worth it in the long run.
Fantastic. Both, you've been an absolute pleasure to speak to. I've learnt lots. I definitely know that everybody else has. So huge thanks for coming on to Careers and Coffee.
Thank you for having us.
So folks, that was Ben and Georgia talking to us a little bit more about all the fantastic work that they're doing at Balfour Beatty. So that's the end of Careers and Coffee for today. Be sure to tune in next week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at the new time, 4:30 till 4:50. We look forward to seeing you. Thanks.